Back to your mystic chanting.
Oh, that was Star Trek.
Oh. I wouldn't know that. Star Trek's for nerds. Do I sound like a nerd to you?
He says, as we get prepared to talk over Dark Souls 2. Right, we're here.
Iron Keep.
Oh.
Oh, my favorite location in the entire game, I think.
In fairness, like, the actual location itself doesn't look too bad.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, some locations in DS2, they're fine on their own. But when you try to construct a video game that connects from one to another, it mostly falls apart.
As a level, it exists in some sort of void outside of time and space, which is a little unfortunate.
They don't mention it once here, but it is not, time is not convoluted in Dragon Lake like in Lower Dragon. Anyway, we have a new invader in Skelter First Sin. I don't think she appeared in the first game. Vanilla, I mean.
There was a red phantom here, but I don't think it was this one.
I don't remember which one appears here, but there's actually multiple red phantoms that appear if you enter this location multiple times.
Yeah.
Which I will do at least once more, and we'll see another invader here. I think it's to reflect, because I know in vanilla at least, this is a very like PvP hotspot. You know.
Of course.
This is the bridge, the PvP bridge. The first game had the forest. This time's a bridge. And the third game, it's like a snowy area, so at least it's all different.
I mean, you would hope so, right?
Yeah, I don't want another lava bridge or another forest area. Wait, scratch that. There's another PvP area in DS3 that's a forest. Never mind. By the way, I just opened the door to a room that originally had like 4 enemies in New Game, but I think they added like 2 or 3 or something in New Game Plus.
It's got
and that's
10
including
more.
That red phantom.
It's got
yeah.
It's got 5 million phantoms and 3 million normal enemies. Because you know,
I wouldn't mind if they're like at least interesting enemies. I mean, Alon Knights are okay, but still.
Oh geez.
It's a guy with armor.
Yeah.
That did not look painful at all. I'm not sure.
We're just giving him a love tap.
I'm giving him, like, as a chiropractor, I'm helping him out.
Yeah, exactly.
Just punch him in the spine.
Yeah, just, you know, he had an appointment to get an adjustment, and you're the doctor who was on call that day.
Yeah.
You know,
the only one available.
Yeah, he wanted to see his normal chiropractor, but you were the one who was in, so he had to...
You know how hard it is to find a doctor in Dark Souls? There's, like, none.
Yeah. All the ones that do exist are, like...
Well, they're dead.
Or evil.
Or, you know, you don't even need a doctor. You can just kill yourself unless you fully healed.
Well, I mean... As long as you're okay with having beef jerky skin.
Yeah.
Oh, who's this saucy fellow?
He is an explorer. He's wearing the explorer set, I think. And this is... I was like, is this the reincarnation of that boss armor seller guy in the first game? Because they're kind of similar, you know.
He's got his...
Oh, and also you find Go's carvings.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Only 4 of them, though. I don't remember where you get the 5th one.
So why does he sell Jester armor?
Because he is the closest NPC to doing that?
Oh.
I don't know. This is probably the best candidate to do that, because it's not like you fight any Jester enemies, you know.
Why did he just give us a ring?
For some merchants, if you spend enough souls at their shop, then they just give you an item.
Ah, interesting.
That's the case for like the merchant hag that we found in Forest of Fallen Giants. That's the case with the armor guy in Majula. A few of them.
Well.
Yeah. So
Secret.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He apparently doesn't.
I'm not sure.
Doesn't really mind
how
too much.
they. Yeah, I'm not sure how they fit a ballista in that room, or why they even did that in the first place,
Yeah.
or like why it was even hidden. Because like you don't really use a ballista indoors, do you?
You wouldn't think
Unless
so.
it's aiming at a door.
It's actually that happened in God of War quite a bit as well, where there would just be like a ballista inside of buildings that you'd have to like turn around to aim at aim at walls or doors and stuff and blow them off.
Yeah, but in this case, like, you know, I like to see it if ballistas works. In in the first game, how you have to attack them. I wonder if ballistas, if they did the same thing. But in this case, no, you just press the A button and then it opens, so it does nothing. Also, this is
Look at that guy.
this is a very large area with a lot of enemies that aggro very easily.
Yeah, there are a bunch of archers in this area, right? Like that, because we already shot that one.
Yeah.
And there's
there's
another one
a
right
lot
there.
of guys here.
Well, that
Not
was
sure
a really
where he
bad
was
shot.
aiming at.
Yeah. Well. Oh.
And they added this guy. Not sure what this guy was looking at, but
So these are like quote unquote new enemies, right? That we're fighting right now, anyway. Like
the red ones are at least new. But
well, I mean, like
Eve.
they're ones we haven't seen up to this point yet.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But they're still just like guys with suits of armor and weapons.
No, they have katanas that are lightning imbued. They're cool.
Yeah, totally different guys.
I mean, they would be cooler if you didn't fight so many of them. Because like there's probably like, if I counted the big guys and the normal sized guys, there maybe like above 30 in this one area or something.
Yeah, I remember Yahtzee and Gabe in their playthrough. Once they got here,
they took a while to get past this area.
They died a lot to these guys.
Yeah. By the way, those things explode, and I was trying to make them explode, but like I'm not sure why it's not working. Like I couldn't even break vases with the crossbow.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can only do that with a bow, but I don't know.
Your crossbow's not strong enough, man.
Apparently not. Like it fires 3 at once. How could you get any more powerful than that?
Maybe that's why.
Yeah,
maybe it hinges on single damage hit rather than stacked.
Whatever. Avalan's cool. You see, well, to me, it's like the only crossbow that's worth use.
Well, I mean, yeah, probably.
Who has ever used the light crossbow or the heavy crossbow?
Did anybody use crossbows in the first Dark Souls either?
Well, aside from Avalon, I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even normal bows have pretty limited usefulness, to be honest.
They've become slightly more viable in the third game.
Oh, well.
So I tried to knock him off, but he just landed on the next platform.
Too close to safety there. Unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, well, bows are kind of useful if you want to be lazy. You know how you can just, take cover, shoot,
ow,
and try to not get hit by arrows that curve midair.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, the magical.
You see, he's curving the arrow.
That happened in the first Dark Souls too. Those Silver Knights.
I know, but like it looks so stupid with like a great arrow.
Well, the Silver Knights with the Dragon Slayer arrows.
I know.
Like you could literally just watch them like just sway and curve and swivel about in the air as they tried to like track you.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that one bit in Anor Londo with the great bow archers with the Silver Knights. That was like Miyazaki said in an interview. He said like, oh, maybe I went a bit too far in that part. Because it's true, like, aside from the obvious things like Battle Chaos or whatever, things that everyone brings up, that part in Anor Londo was a little too much.
Well, that's one of the bits that everyone brings up, usually.
I know, but, it's not really one of the famous ones.
I would say it is, actually.
Why?
I would say that for everyone who complains about Bed of Chaos, they probably, like, if not the exact same people, but the same number of people will complain about the Silver Knight Archers in Anne Orlando, because, I mean, first of all, you have to get past them to get to the Bed of Chaos in the first place. But
Yeah, I guess.
but there are more people. Based on kind of like anecdotal experience, I would say there are probably more people who have gotten to, well, look at all these guys.
Hey. Oh yeah, but I by the way, I turned a like a wheel which made this room safe. So I don't know how these guys were safe by themselves before I turned the wheel.
They have a lot of fire resistance,
I guess. Oh, by the way,
hi.
some guy called Barbus is messaging me. This guy.
Apparently, he is he's capable of watching you while you record Dark Souls. So
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering, wait, am I broadcasting? I'm not broadcasting, am I?
yeah, like I would say that there are more people who got to the Silver Knight Archers in Anne Orlando than who actually like beat Ornstein and Smo.
Okay, yeah.
Because there are a lot of people who play Dark Souls and like just quit at Ornstein and Smo.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I would say like Bed of Chaos and Silver Knight Archers are probably like the two most infamous moments from the first game.
Yeah.
And aside from that, I'm not really sure what you would consider to be infamous.
Capra Demon.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably one of the weaker bosses in the game.
But it's the early kind of one that people get blindsided by. Because
exactly, because like it's an early boss and it's really hard, but then again it's optional, so maybe not everyone fought it.
It's really funny, actually. I mean, I've probably said this, but when I was going through New Game Plus or something while we were recording the first game, I didn't even fight.
Yeah.
I didn't even fight the Capra Demon until after I had cleared out like
so
many of the other bosses.
Like, I don't understand how... Wait, so the Capra Demon drops the keys to the depths, so that means you also didn't fight the Gaping Dragon until way later on?
Yeah, no.
Wow.
I didn't go through the depths until... because I don't go to Blighttown through the depths, because I don't want to go through...
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you know the shortcut, you might as well take it.
Yeah.
Because, like, it's there, but, you know... You might as well.
Yeah.
You're saving yourself a lot of time and stress.
Yeah, and fights against toxic shooting enemies, which are just really obnoxious. But yeah, so like I don't really need to go through the depths ever when I play, because I just
there's
them.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of optional areas in the first game, and I want to mention in DS3 there's like one optional area. There's 19 bosses and only like 4 of them are optional. So yeah, you'd have to go through almost the entire game. But
interesting.
Almost the entire game is good, so I think that's fine.
It's okay when the quality of the game actually deserves being played.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like
I mean, like, if you make a bad game, you know, you might as well give the option to the player to not just, you know, go through everything. That's only if you know you made a bad game, though.
Yeah. That's kind of like.
By the way, the Pharos Lockstones here, they drop water and then they heal you. I think that's about it.
Do they cool off any of the lava?
No. Well, actually, if you go through that water or water vases or whatever, it makes your character damp, and then lava damage is reduced when you are damp.
Interesting.
And we are fighting
Helter Skelter.
No, it's Nightmare.
I mean, same difference, really. It's the
I guess.
the Helter Skelter Smelter demon.
Yeah. So. I know. I mainly draw towards Nightmare because big swords, lava hell guy.
This is one fight I would actually say is an interesting fight against a boss who is a dude in a suit of armor with a sword.
It's definitely not terrible when it comes to like the lineup in DS2. This one is definitely at least like top.
I would
quarter.
I say
but
it,
that's not saying much.
I say it mostly because the fight actually changes like significantly.
Yeah, it has phases to it.
Yeah, and it gets more difficult as the phases change.
I'm not really too keen on its actual design because like it reminds me too much of Nightmare.
It's not a terribly inspired design. It's again not bad as far as Dark Souls 2 bosses are concerned, but
no. It's still a humanoid with a sword though.
Yeah, which is unfortunate, but at least they got one.
It is unfortunate, yes.
At least they got one that wasn't bad,
if he had any other weapon than a sword, this would be like a lot better, but whatever.
Chain whip. A flaming chain whip. Ooh.
Exactly, or at least if he uses pyromancies, since it's fire-based, that would have been good.
So I've never actually seen what's past this because Yahtzee and Gabe didn't beat him.
Okay. Well,
Horse.
Horse.
Okay. All right.
That's what you get.
So we're gonna have a horse. We're gonna have a mount now that we can.
Well, actually, you get a porcine shield, which is a shield with a pig's face on it. So I don't know why that message said horse.
Porcine shield. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Fair enough. Why? How useful? How useful is that pork shield?
I think it has good all-around resistances, but not any good for specific stuff.
Right.
Oh, by the way. That arena will be used again and for a specific enemy that you and I both love and have fought so many times before. Guess what it is?
Oh, are you serious?
Pursuer. What is this? The sixth time we fought the Pursuer?
Why?
It's been a while, but still.
Why?
So this was in vanilla and also new game. You don't need to go into new game plus to find this guy. It's Pursuer. You love him.
Yeah, the classic like nemesis that everyone's been clamoring for.
Yeah, it's almost like a nemesis.
I don't. They could like.
So we're up to 6. Do you want to maybe now's the time to mention how many times you will fight the Pursuer in this playthrough? Do you want to guess?
I think
total.
I think we've already guessed before. Like.
Oh, we did?
I think we guessed it like something like 7 or 8.
I know the exact number, but do you?
No, I don't know, but I believe that earlier on in this playthrough I guessed something like 7.
Okay, well,
or actually I might have,
that was definitely not the last time we will fight him.
I might have facetiously said like 10. I don't remember exactly anymore.
It's entirely possible. I mean, we did fight him 4 times in one area.
Oh god. He's not like I would not have a problem with like an enemy
if
being.
He wasn't, a dude with
if it wasn't
sword.
so boring. Like, if it was a more interesting enemy, that would be fine. It's just he's not an.
But he floats on the ground. But it doesn't matter what he does as long as he does it interestingly.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter if he floats on the ground because the movement is just the same anyway.
So these that turtle's gonna break the bridge, right?
Yep.
And well.
And I think if you make him break it enough and have him walk over it, it will break with him on it and he falls. I think I saw that happen one time.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that are like, oh, that's neat. I wouldn't have figured that out if I didn't watch someone else do it.
Yeah, and then of course if you let the bridge break, you have to jump over it. So that's fun.
Yeah, I don't want to take that risk. Jumping is like one of the most terrifying things in these games.
Yeah, yeah. These games were not built to be platformers, and
Well, they made jumping a lot less stressful in Dark Souls 3 because what you can do is, you know how you automatically roll after you land when you jump every single time? If you just like stop pressing forward on the analog stick, you can just like jump and then as you stop. And you can roll if you want to, but you don't have to roll if you don't want. And there are so many deaths that happen because you just roll after you jump.
Can you leave your friends behind? Because your friends don't roll, and if they don't roll, then they're no friends of mine.
No, you can't.
Well, that's a shame.
Oh, thank you, message. I already spotted the lock.
So we have a. Is this our first like iron chest mimic, or have we seen one of them before?
There was one more. There was one near Majula, but that only appears in New Game Plus.
Mimics. They're.
Oh.
It would be nice if they, like, instead of having like just limbs, if they had like horrifying eldritch tentacles instead.
I like their design.
I don't think it's a bad design, but I think it would be. Oh, hello.
We have another. Oh, this is the first time we find the Bell Covenant, by the way.
Is he a gnome?
I guess.
Certainly looks like. I mean, we've already seen a dwarf, and he was not actually short, so we can't.
Yeah,
I guess
call this guy
a dwarf.
Yeah. This guy would be a gnome.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't remember what I did there, but I did it.
And now
dude, it's been a while since I recorded this. Like, it's been like several weeks.
And now we're attacking gnomes. Okay, that's.
Yes, because this is a PvP area, I guess.
Yeah, I've never seen this area, so that's cool.
Yes. And I'm not sure why they placed a ballista right behind one of these guys, but might as well use it when it's here.
Who, again, does not seem to care that he's getting gigantic ballista bolts in the back of his head.
Yeah, they should have tested that. Yeah, and I think the human enemies here, I think what they're trying to go for is same with a lot of the Red Phantoms invaders, trying to mimic actual players.
Yeah.
So this is what it's supposed to look like, I guess.
Huh. Is that why they're like, oh, that guy's stuck?
Yep.
Is that why they look like they're made out of like oil or something?
Yeah, that's a specific. If you join this Bell Covenant, when someone enters, then you get summoned here, kind of like the Forest in the first game. And I think, and they're instead of a red phantom, you appear as a gray one. I think they're great. Sorry, I'm colorblind, so I can't really tell.
That guy is dual wielding Avalons, isn't he?
Yes, you can actually power stance 2 Avalons. And you can actually fire them both at once. That's their special power stance thing. So you can fire 6 bolts at the same time.
Fair enough, I guess. If you do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
We have another guy with the big berserk greatsword.
Yeah, I think he's the same as the undead purgatory in front of the chariot.
Right. When are we actually going to get that sword ourselves?
I don't remember where you find it.
Is it one you actually just find, or do you have to?
It's not unique. It's just called greatsword. So.
That's.
You will find it somewhere. I don't think you find any world enemies with it.
It's a shame.
I mean, it's a cool weapon, but I'm not really too into
Bellkeeper.
Oh, I remember why we did a fade. It's because I went offline, and this invader only appears if you're offline. It's to compensate because like normally you get invaded by players, but since I can't, they scripted an NPC to invade me instead.
Interesting.
And they're just called Bellkeeper, and I think they're pretty much exactly the same as the gnomes.
I mean, sure.
They're probably not called gnomes, by the way, but might as well just call them that.
Whatever.
We already established it, so.
Yeah, it's a fantasy world. It's not like it really makes much of a difference one way or the other.
Nope. I mean, we have giants and trolls.
Like
we don't have goblins.
It's like I always thought it was hilarious when people got upset when you called the zombies in The Last of Us zombies. They're like, no, they're infected. It's like,
For God's sake.
yeah, it's like, first of all, you know the zombies usually... Oh, geez. You guys...
Zombification is an infection most of the time.
You guys faded out animation quality for...
Oh yeah, that's the case. If an enemy is like far enough away, their frame rate like dips below like negative a million or something.
That's hilarious. But yeah, anyway, like, yeah, zombification is typically like an infection in most fictional media.
Nowadays it is.
So it's like, why are you so adamant about this distinction here when they...
I think it's like slightly, dare I say, a pretentiousness, because
Yeah.
it's kind of like, oh, these aren't your normal zombies.
These aren't zombies.
These are like, these are the ones in one of the most acclaimed games ever. They're special. No, they're zombies.
Yeah, since we're approaching the end of this episode now, I will take the time to make everyone really, really angry and say I didn't particularly care for The Last of Us.
Is that illegal?
I only got halfway through it, and I was like, I don't really feel like playing this any further.
People are gonna be after you.
Yeah, I know. It's unpopular opinion time on Dark Souls 2 here, where
you know what's also, not a very popular opinion?
that the first the first Devil May Cry game isn't very good.
Oh yeah, you also said that.
I did. What are you going with though?
Oh, no, that was the exact thing I was going to go for.
Of course.
The exact thing.
So, like, admittedly, it's kind of a thing that I have with Naughty Dog games in general, where I find them more interesting to watch than to play.
Well, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
They're almost like movies.
Yeah, I mean, basically.
One with Uncharted, I think 2 was marketed as a movie essentially.
I maybe would like The Last of Us a little bit more on the PS4 because it would have a decent frame rate, but who knows?
Ooh.